Right, we're just going to give it one more minute for everyone to join and then we'll kick off.
For those of you that are on the call, we do have a Q&A opportunity within this Teams functionality. So do please raise questions there, and we will monitor those as we go through the webinar.
Right, just want to say thank you for everyone to join, taking an hour out of your time, so I really appreciate it. We're just around the magic 50 number, and I'm sure there's many getting the recorded version as well. Just to begin with, I'd just like to start within everyone using the Q&A bit. Why are you here? Why have you joined this conversation? To the leaders, part of this group, what's your purpose? What do you feel is the main reasoning behind having a women in project controls group? It'd be great to hear from you. While you're typing, I'll give you a bit more short intro about what we're doing and an introduction on myself. I'm really keen to hear from everyone. Make this a cute interactive session. We'll be seeing what's happening and answering in real time as well. So the women in project controls. Today's agenda, as you can see, firstly, we'll start off with the introductions to who our initial steering group are and the people involved. Our charter, our key benefits of membership, the opportunity for you to have your say, Q&A, next steps, where you can meet us, for example, how to get in touch with us as well. So a little short introduction on me. Firstly, I'm the Membership Director for Control Skills Authority. If you're not a member of the Control Skills Authority, it's the professional home for project controls. It's very much a volunteer-led organisation, with Dawn and Nadia being our sole employees. We've grown to over 2,500 members over the last year, and we have circa 35 company members. It really is growing as an organisation, and people are genuinely feeling the community spirit. My day job, I run Pace Global, the UK's #1 project controls recruitment partner, which has been for 3 years. Our 4 values: personal growth, authenticity, community, and empathy. And obviously today's focus is all about the community. Also, co-founder of Project Connect Group, which is a free-to-attend networking event, which is again community-led and supported very much by CASA as well and other people who are on this call. So on a slightly personal note, I'm also the father of a 12-year-old girl and of a 5-year-old boy. I've also suffered quite a few miscarriages along the way between having my daughter and my son. It's quite important for the purpose behind this organisation and with this group, because I've also seen the barriers it's put up for my wife in pushing on with her career and, you know, the delay she had in the next steps in her career progress. More origins about this group. I was approached in November of 2025 over a weekend by 3 different females in project controls at different levels, one at a director and 2 others at early careers. And they asked, where we see women in construction, where's the women in project controls group? So I got my thinking cap on and I thought, who can I reach out to, and let's try to arrange something. So I reached out to some fantastic leaders, and all of them were like straight away, yep, no problem, happy to help. Also 3 years ago, I was featured in Faye Allen's book, Women in Construction, very much around what does a male ally mean. I learnt about that, but also saw what we can do to improve. For example, in boardrooms, meetings, when females are ignored, allowing them to have their voice, because generally men seem to be a bit more confident and have the louder voice overall. And this is just a legacy thing. Take note of others, speak to others in the room about how you can improve and support females. Also, when we first started our PCG events, we were doing them in bars and pubs, and Lisa and Kieran were at one of them, and the feedback was, we really enjoyed it, but where's all the bloody women? So on the back of that, we're really focused on changing how we approach it and really positively push to get more females in attendance. And it's really working. We've got a nice dynamic. Another incredible stat I'd heard when we were putting this all together in 2023, there's more Johns in executive boardrooms on FTSE 350 companies than females. And I'm sure that's mirrored in project controls. So the choice is change your name to John or actually come out and really support females to take the next step for the next generation. I've genuinely seen my wife struggles over this last period. So from a selfish point of view, I'm here to see how I can help her and help my daughter through the next generation. Also, I don't just act it in my day job or when I talk about it from a personal point of view. I'm really happy I get to take my daughter to the Women's FA Cup final where Man United won, the Women's Euros where England won, and today, straight after this, I'll be going to school to give a careers talk and then off to the World Cup semi-final, not the football one, the cricket one, to see England beat South Africa. So there's not just the day job, it's actually having fun along the way. The key purpose behind today and creating a long-term legacy for this group, connection, building, mentoring, collaborating along the way. We want people to share their experiences, allow others to learn from it, and you yourself can grow as well. There's so much happening in the world today. Negatives, the geopolitical climate is in such a terrible state. But I feel in Project Controls are a genuine community, good people, many smiling faces along the way, and we should be able to help each other. Thank you. Over to the introductions now to the next person. Thank you.
Thank you, Chirag. Great to have so many people join us today. So thank you for taking time out to join. I'm Kieran Mistry. I'm one of the members of the steering committee, and I'm just going to share a little bit about myself. I'm excited to be part of this. As Chirag said, I did question some of the networking events where, I was one of the minorities, and that's something we absolutely need to change. My background is project controls and PMO leadership. I've been in the industry for 25 years. Around 20 of those, or 18 of those, was actually as a self-employed contractor. So I had to fought my way through the industry as a woman, self-employed, as well as being a member of a large company, where I am now a director at Atkins Realis in the project controls industry. I've worked in defence as a junior planner. I've worked in and out of aviation at Heathrow 3 times. I've worked a number of AMP periods and cycles in the water industry, and I've also worked in rail. I'm also a fellow member of the CASA as well, which I'm really excited about. So really helping to form, connections and drive the change that we need in the industry. I think one of the things that I'm proudest about is, I had the ability from moving from a delivery role to an internal role at Atkins Realis, where I was put in charge of the UK practice for project controls. And it was one of the fastest growing. We grew it from 35 to 160 within 18 months. And my passion was to make sure it's diverse from females, but diverse from a BAME background as well, and diverse from a sector and experience and levels of experience. So I was really fortunate to be able to really change from the top. I ensured that everyone had a fair encouragement to apply for roles when we restructured and provided opportunities. Everyone was informed it was a fair process, and without all of that, we were able to get a 40% representation of women, including 50% of my leadership were women and 40% of our entire population were from a BAME background. To me, that demonstrates that you can make a difference. And that's the purpose of me joining this committee, is continue that work throughout the industry as well. I am now back in delivery. And I'm enjoying being my 3rd stint back at Heathrow. I am the controls lead at Heathrow expansion, helping to build the capacity and the 3rd runway. And I am now a deputy PMO lead as well. So really excited to be here and help this journey to fulfill the impact that women can make in the industry. So I'm going to forward it on to now Stephanie. Thank you.
Sorry, if we can go to the next person, she's going to come back.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's me. Hopefully you can hear me. Hi everyone. My name's Leanne Coleman and I'm the Business Unit Director leading the project management and consulting team over at Assystem. And for those who don't know who Assystem are, we're the second largest independent nuclear engineering company in the world, so pretty big. And it's here where I lead teams delivering across complex infrastructure and energy programs. And it's not just project controls that I oversee there, it's project management, commercial, environment consents and engagements. So quite a broad reaching role, which my project controls career has led me to. So I spent over 20 years now, it makes me feel really old, in project controls and program environments as well. And that's really been heavily focused around trying to help organizations bring that kind of clarity and confidence to delivery. And I've worked, listening to Kieran actually, some similar, if not the same environments. So my experience, spans across multiple sectors, nuclear, oil and gas, started off in water, United Utilities, transport and infrastructure. And yeah, so that's led me to this broader role now, overseeing a business unit, which is quite incredible. And so for me, I think it says it up on screen. I always say this: project controls is, it's much more than reporting, and it's really about enabling better decisions. And I've certainly seen the benefits of that across my career. And I've always been a massive advocate for the data-led thinking and digital approaches to how we deliver. And that's something that, because I'm passionate about, I often speak about at various conferences. But over and above all that, and I think my team would support me on this, I really care about trying to build collaborative environments. I think it's really important, and I've certainly benefited from this throughout my career, to feel, confident and encouraged to be able to grow and progress in your career. And I'm at Assystem, I'm the ED&I exec sponsor. So that gives me a real opportunity to make sure that everyone's got a voice there and that we're really inclusive in our approach, which means a lot to me. And then just finally, outside of work, I love to say it, but I am a keen caravanner. So if there's anybody that wants a caravan chat, I'm your go-to woman. I'm also an amateur DJ. Amateur is the key word there. And more importantly, and probably most important of all, I'm a mum of two, a 6-year-old girl and a 6-year-old boy, I should know, and a 10-year-old girl who I'm extremely proud of. That's me. Is it back to Steph? Is she here?
I am, and I have just had my first challenge. My laptop decided to just restart.
Oh.
So let's talk about building resilience. So yeah, hi everybody. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm Steph Illingworth. I'm currently a project director at Turner and Townsend. I do have 30 plus years experience in controls. So Leanne, if you feel old, I feel even older. And I've been really fortunate to work across some fantastic sectors, rail, water, roads. I've led transformation and project control services. So really, really proud of some of the stuff I've done. I am a charter project manager, a fellow of APM and a fellow of Controls and Skills Authority. So they have been great professional achievements for me. Now, the thing that I really, really enjoy is the strengths coaching. So I do a lot of people development mentoring, but I use a strengths model that I try to really help understand how you can unlock talent within people that they don't even know they have. And one of the things I'm really passionate about as I'm working through TNT is developing a leadership program for women. And it's just about how you build that resilience, because we are different and we think differently, and it's going really, really well. And as the others, I'm a mother of 3, and they're all independent now. They don't need me, so I get to play lots of paddle tennis, which I'm really obsessed with at the moment. I get to do more travel without having to take them with me. But yeah, I've got 3 fantastic kids who are all, actually one of them stayed in project controls. I think he's kind of enjoying it now. Yeah, and that's me. I'll stop there. Thank you.
I will speak on Lisa's behalf. As you can see, I'm not Lisa today, but unfortunately Lisa's had to take a flight, so she cannot be with us at the moment. But Lisa and I work together, both directors at Atkins Realis. She's got a longer stint than me. She's been with the business for over 25 years, but she's got 30 years experience in the industry, working very similar sectors do I have, but also she's our UK technical lead and a global practice project controls lead as well. So she connects all our Atkins Realis project control professionals across globally. And she's got similar experience to myself. We both started working at Terminal 5 together, and she's continued to work at Heathrow. I'm working with her again, which is fabulous. And she's worked in water. She's a mother of 3, married to a pilot, so constantly trying to juggle her life around flight paths and managing kids and a profession that stems across the globe as well. So I'm sure she'd love to have been here, but she will definitely be here in person for the next one. Thank you. Who's next? Kajal? Yeah.
That's me. Hi everyone, I'm Kajal Rana. I'm a senior planning consultant over at Mobile Reply and a member of the steering committee as well here. My background's in planning and I've been working in project controls for just under 7 years now, so I'm definitely the baby of the group. Having started my career over in rail, I'm now working in the water sector. One of the reasons I actually wanted to be a part of the Women in Controls community of practice is because representation really matters. And throughout my own career, I've been fortunate enough to have people who have supported, encouraged and mentored me. And I think it's important that we create the same opportunities and pay it forward. So whether anyone is just starting out or looking to progress, I really hope this community becomes a part of people's lives and they feel welcomed and supported and inspired. Outside of work, I'm quite creative. I'm musical. I play the guitar. I actually also illustrate and I spend a lot of the free time in the gym. And also, like Steph, I do enjoy playing paddle. That's me. Thank you.
Lovely. Okay, back to me. And it's up to me to explain our purpose, really. And I think it's quite simple. We've tried to keep it simple. You know, we came together ultimately to try and build a supportive network. That's what it's all about, support. And just like Chirag said at the start, it's really about developing, connecting and empowering women in project controls. And it's about promoting a greater sense of diversity, inclusion, and Kajal touched on it there, but that true representation across the profession. So what it's not is another meeting in your diary. It's not more admin. It's about a community and it's what you get back from this community. And really, just like I said before, it is about support. It's where you can feel supported. It's where we can share those experiences, which, you know, it's not always comfortable to share some of the experiences that we've had, but we need to learn from those. And I think it's another place where we hope that we can share the successes as well, so we can celebrate success. And then I think have some healthy challenge as well. So let's just make sure that, you know, any challenge that we have or give to one another, it's discussed honestly, and that we can create opportunities for one another. So it ultimately breaks down into 5 key aims there, the core aims, which you can see on screen. So first of all, the connection piece. We work across a number of different organisations, sectors, locations across the world, actually, not just the UK. And you know, some people on this call will be at the start of their careers, and then others will be experienced leaders. And really, quite frankly, it doesn't matter where you are on your career journey, because we can all learn from each other. So this is about creating opportunities for that networking for women in project controls. You know, it's collaboration and it's breaking down boundaries. And then you'll see the second part there is that development piece. So, you know, I think I said this at the CASA conference in one of the panels I was on just the other week. Career growth doesn't happen by accident. You have to be really purposeful. You know, so we want to make sure that we provide that access within this context to mentoring, coaching and development. And we think that's really important, and it's something that I've certainly benefited from throughout my career, which is great. You can see thirdly on there, we've got, you know, we want to inspire. I talked before about stories. We've all got stories, and it's our stories, I think, that provide a legacy, one, but also help us to learn, do things differently, take the best of, you know, from the experiences that we've got. And I think in this environment, that's more important than ever, really. And then to advocate as well, I think I've said this, I've personally benefited massively by having other people who have been a voice in the room when I'm not there. Or when I've not felt able to speak. And I think that's important. And as a community, we can all do that, I think, for each other. So promoting diversity, equity, inclusion across the profession in all walks of life, and just really encourage that place where we can all feel like we're, well, valued and that we can thrive, really. And then finally there, we've got the influence piece. It's not just a discussion focused group. We need to have action, and we will be action focused for sure. And when we come to the next part of this presentation, you'll see that you've got an opportunity to help us, tell us what you want to focus on. But let's just continue to share our experiences and really help shape the future of women in project controls as we move forward. You can see there a list in terms of our scope. You can all read, hopefully, so you can see the list on screen, but I'll pull out a few there because we'll come to this in a minute as well. There's a few things that we really felt when we came together that we wanted to focus in on, and it's around career development, progression, leadership development, professional networking, initiatives that support diversity, equity and inclusion, and then also industry engagement and outreach. So I think, it's about supporting women across the entire profession, and really ensuring that we're setting up and engaging with early careers to inspire the next generation, really. So I think now if we move on a slide, I think Kieran's going to talk us through our governance arrangements as well.
Yes. Yeah. So yes, our governance is across three main steps, I guess. So we've got the steering committee, the members that you've had the chance to meet today. So there's 6 of us, and we plan to have a sort of remit in term of about 2 years, but that's on a rotation basis, obviously. Our goal is to make sure that we set the sort of direction and the vision of this community of practice. We obviously look to review the planned activities and events throughout the year and approve those. And we also report back to CASA on the progress of our community and how, what we can do to elevate it even further. The next step is obviously the operating committee, which is yet to be in place, and that's where you all come in place. So we'd like to invite people to put themselves forward, and you can do that by registering through CASA and the various groups. We have a group for women in project controls that you can share your interest on, and we're looking for members of around 8 to 12 people who can support in operating this vision. So basically helping us to define and plan the events and the concept and set these working groups up and provide that engagement to the members as well. So that is the sort of second step, and that we see as a yearly term. Again, we can rotate people as they wish to come off and on, and that will be our process to keep the momentum going. The main thing that we really need is membership. We've got an amazing array of people that have joined on this call already, and I know there's been over, I think, 180 that have already registered, and I'm sure there'll be more to come from today. But it really is about creating that community and that network. So we need women in project controls, whether it's risk practice, controls, planning, reporting, data. There's such a vast array that can be involved, cost management, and we want to make sure that this is open to everyone from different levels, whether you're from the start of your career or about to change your career into project controls. We're inviting everyone who wants to have part of this journey, as well as those that have been in the role for many years and have got lots to give back as well. So senior executives and leaders are just as welcome as those that are early in their careers. More importantly, we also want lots of male allies. We cannot do this alone. We need those allies to have a voice for us. Chirag is a great note of that. He's joined us and has brought us together because he knows that he needs to make that change. Once I challenged him about one of the networking events, and this is just the start. So the more males we can have to get that word out, the better as well. So we definitely encourage that. But we also ask you to really participate. You know, having a membership is one thing, but we cannot change without you being involved. There'll be lots of opportunities once the operating committee has been put together, many events, many opportunities to network, have working groups. We could do this by, you know, topics. I mean, the whole point is to get us together today and see how we can form this and move this forward. We do not want to, lead by demand. This is a combined journey that we want everyone to feel part of. So those are the sort of 3 core steps of our journey in terms of governance, and obviously that will mature and review as we progress that. So that's from me. I'm going to pass it on to, I think, Steph. Thank you, Steph.
No problem. So, why would you get involved other than it being a really cool group? What's in it for you? When everybody volunteers, you always want to make sure that you get something from it. So just listed a few things in here. So obviously you can contribute to your CPD hours. You get the opportunity to lead and show initiative. You get to improve your communication, your stakeholder management. You get recognition for the work that you're doing. You're going to understand governance, steering groups. You know, one of the challenges that I had in my career was navigating a boardroom. That's hard. Like when you haven't done it before, you have to learn how to do that. And you normally learn through, I learned through my mistakes. Wouldn't it be brilliant to understand what that setup looks like? Confidence, all of us, well, certainly I did, and probably most people on this call will have some form of imposter syndrome. Confidence, it's just difficult sometimes, but you will grow. The more you expose yourself to different scenarios, you are going to grow confidence. You're going to give back to the profession. I cannot wait to be able to give back to this wonderful profession that's provided me with an amazing career. I want to be able to give that back, and you'll all have the opportunity to give something back. Your CV, it's going to look great on your CV. And when you're in those interviews and they're asking you questions, tell me a time when you've led or you've done this, you'll be able to bring some of that to life through the experiences you're going to get within this group. And obviously, as we've mentioned already, your network is probably the most important, valuable thing in your career. You're going to strengthen your network as well. So that's just a few. There are more benefits, but just, you know, if you want to give up your time, you want to make sure that you get something back. So yeah, thank you.
That's me. Okay, guys. So what we want to do at the moment is actually open the floor for Slido. So of course, this community is all for you guys, and it's important that we understand what you want to get out of it. So we've got 3 Slido questions. So if you could just scan the QR code, hopefully it works okay. And then we'll wait for everyone to join and we'll go through the question set. Just wait for the counter to start increasing. At the moment, no one's managed to join, I don't think. Oh, it's working. Okay, so for the first question, as you can see, it's around priorities. So from our scope, which you should be able to see, obviously with the options here, what would you like to see the Women in Project Controls community of practice to focus on? Now we've obviously got networking, mentoring, career development, early careers outreach. So really for the next 3 months, what you want us to deliver in support of you guys. So we've obviously got quite a few people responding. Mentorship's actually the strongest point at the moment, so that's great to see. Career development. Networking is quite strong as well. I think that's quite key. Got over 50% of people voting so far, so we'll just let it creep up a little bit. It's interesting to see that you guys would also like to share your experiences through your career as well. But I think career development is definitely the strong winner here. See, with the sharing and best practice, we've actually got an idea where we could potentially get quite a few volunteer guest speakers on board and a few webinars and in-person meetups. So I actually think I'm quite keen on that one as well. We're nearly there with 67 people. Oh, I think someone's put their hand up. I can't quite tell. Sorry.
Alex, I think.
Yeah, it was
That's
Alex.
Has he gone down again?
Not sure if there's any technical issues on that side. Okay.
That's okay.
No worries.
Got a clear winner.
Yeah, I think career development is definitely the clear winner, so that's good. Obviously, really useful. I think we can possibly move on to the next slido, if that's okay. So with our second one, this is something that we want to kind of work out how best you guys would like to engage with the community. So obviously everyone engages differently. A lot of people enjoy webinars like we're hosting today, and there'll be more to come. Other people prefer networking events that'll be in person, mentoring, lunch and learns, or even small working group discussions. So please let us know what would work for you. It's clear, obviously, in-person networking is definitely the strongest one, and I didn't doubt that at any point. Mentoring circles is also a great one. It'd be good to see if we can get some maybe regional working groups in play as well. Technical masterclasses, that's quite a good one. So nice and strong there. Coffee chats, that's a good one there too. But I think it's safe to say that in-person networking currently is our strongest. We do have quite a few lined up for this part of the year coming up. I think we've got something later in the year, so I believe someone is going to touch upon that in the next steps. It's really interesting to see where everyone's preferences are, that's for sure. And I'm glad there's a real appetite for the networking. So we've had about 60 people respond. I think we can possibly move on to the next one. So this is my most favourite question, actually. So if we were sitting here in 12 months' time, what would success look like for this community? So imagine, obviously, we're back here for another webinar, which I'm sure most of you will still register. What would make you look back and say this community has been a real success? Now, maybe it's, I think this is actually a free type. Sorry, I realise there's no options for you to select, but maybe it's seeing more women progressing into leadership roles, creating mentoring relationships, seeing the younger generation have a keen interest in project controls and actually think from sixth form to college to uni, that's what I want to go into, rather than, I mean, some of us have probably just landed into a project controls role. Building a network of people where we're all supported and connected, having more male allies. We really want you to show us what success would look like so that we can obviously measure ourselves against that as well. So I'm seeing success stories, that's great. Confidence, more women visible in project control leadership roles, that's definitely a strong one. I'm keen for that. Sharing stories. I think the whole point of this is actually community, and I think that's a really strong message across this, and that's really what we want to be, as a supportive community for you all.
There's a lot of comments coming through. It's great. You can see people are really invested in this. It's amazing.
The one that said me leading this meeting. Yeah, sounds great.
Being in roles where my voice is an impact is felt. That's actually a strong one. I quite like that. These are all amazing responses. Thank you.
Yeah, someone earlier said that they want the measure of success would be that they would know more people on this call, which, you know, that's directly aligned to our purpose. It's about bringing us together, connecting. So that's really positive.
We'll just give this one a little bit more time because I'm keen to see quite a lot of responses here, and I appreciate that it might take a little bit longer to type up your answers. everyone thriving in their own development journey. That's a strong one.
I love that one because we're all at different places in our journey. And actually, you shouldn't be looking for anybody else's journey. You should just be focused on your own. I love that one.
I think our timings are all different as well. We shouldn't measure success from the person to the next. I think
Exactly.
That.
And I think the other thing that's worth noting as well, look at just on the people on the presenters, we've all got same core skills, but we've all used our skills in different ways. I'm a coach, there's so much diversity within the project controls profession, and you can place your strengths as you develop your career through. You can think about the things that you're really strong in and things that maybe don't interest you as much because it's so broad. And that's one of the things that's great about the profession. You can't be experts in everything, but you can focus on the things that you really enjoy, that you're strong in. And that's important.
I think that's especially important as you progress in your career and move into more leadership positions with larger teams. You can't be an expert in everything, and you very much relies upon your team and your network. So
yeah, and having the confidence to accept that you're not going to be the best, and somebody around you could be stronger than you, and that's great. But yeah, I agree.
So I saw one fly past, but it was women supporting other women, and I think that's actually quite key, because I think the little caveat was it's not always happening, and I think it's a big point to raise, is that we're all here on the same journey as well, and we should really strengthen each other and give each other a lift up. We all need to be kind of friends in the community as well. Whilst we're all colleagues, we all should support each other. So I actually think that's a quite key one to come across. So thank you to whoever's written that. We'll make sure that we can do that.
Joe's just put in the chat, hands up, any other male allies in the call. We've got 4 thumbs up so far, but it'd be great to see. I think there's 92 people on the call at present. How many more males are there on the call as well, please? Just a quick thumbs up.
I think a measure of success, Chirag, is that we'd have an increased number of allies, wouldn't it? Male allies on this call next time.
Definitely. I'm not seeing any more answers come through, so we can move it on to the next part, unless... There we go. Okay, perfect. So we've got a Q&A section here that we've opened up the floor for you guys to be able to put forward some questions, and then as a panel we can answer them. So the first one is, will there be any membership fees, and what is that likely to be? I'm not sure who wants to take that question.
I was going to say, shall I take that one?
Yeah, sure.
On the basis I think they might mean membership of the authority. To be a member of the community of practice, you do need to be a member of the authority, recognising a lot of the names you are, but I also can see a lot of the attendees are not. Membership fees range from free if you are a student undertaking the apprenticeships for project control, both level 3 and level 6, through to annual fee of £168 if you apply as a fellow. All the information is on the website, and I know there are links shortly to take you to the website, but the application process is a button at the top of the website. Fill in a couple of boxes, upload your CV, and the membership fees, as I said, is free up to £168.
Dawn, is it corporate membership also provides added benefits?
Yes, so if you work for one of our 34 corporate members, the first 2 years of your membership as an individual is half that price. So having said that, 168 is the fellow price. If you apply as a fellow and you work for a corporate member, it's 50% of that for the first 2 years. So those of you that are that work for one of our corporate members, it's I'm going to say no-brainer, but I would do that because I'm selling it. But it is really a no-brainer to be involved with the authority and therefore get involved in this community of practice.
Also, I just want to say, I was asking about male allies. So I've actually had a screenshot from one of my clients. So India Mobile Reply, obviously Kajal was part of it, sent a screenshot. They're in the boardroom and there's 9 males in the room and no females in that part. So they're all maybe the females that are in their own laptops, but having 9 males dedicate their lunch break on it's great. So well done, Indy.
That's amazing. Shout out to Mobile to reply for that. Thank you. I'll take the next question for the membership opportunities and how people set up. I think Dawn's obviously gone over that one, but I believe in later slides we do have a little bit of a section regarding further opportunities on that one, so I'll leave that one for now. In terms of how often do we meet, I think Kieran, you touched upon a little of this in your section, but I think we're yet to kind of set out how often we will be meeting and the frequency of webinars and such. But part of the next few steps is we'll engage, how frequent you guys would like these sessions to be held, and then we'll feedback that after the webinar. So the next question, will this group help members to promote themselves through engineering industry awards? Any members of the panel would like to take that?
I'll take that. I mean, I think that's a given. I'm always up for helping people, when they're putting together an award, whether it's doing a review. But I think this group is definitely somewhere where you could reach out to. And I'm pretty sure that there'd be several people on this call that would be willing to support. It doesn't have to be the steering committee. That's the point of the community. It's just helping one another. So it's about us to try and establish how we facilitate that and link you up at the relevant time. Steph, I can see you've got your hand up as well.
Yeah, just backing what you've said there, Leanne. I mean, just looking at like my fellowship, for example, I haven't got that through academia or through some of the other routes. I got my fellowships through giving back, paying forward, mentoring, coaching, volunteering, a lot of the work I did with LGBTQ. So all of the things that you do are all contributing to your professional body, but also as you're entering awards, if it's Young Professional of the Year, for example, you would write that in your bio. You would explain that you're volunteering. So they're all contributing factors to industry awards and also professional growth.
Amazing, thank you. I think, Steph, I'm probably going to nominate you for the last question. Is what key skills? Oh, it's just disappeared. I think the question
saw that one. I did see that one, and I was thinking
the degree with engineering and then the new role of project controls. So I think that'd be quite a nice one for you to answer.
Happy to do so, and anybody back me up on the call as well. So I've worked across 30 plus years, and as a non-engineer, it used to be something that used to really intimidate me. I never used to feel like I was imposter syndrome. I wasn't quite good enough, and I'd work with engineers. The times have moved on now, and actually I've worked with some fantastic project controllers who are converted from an engineering background, different types of engineering. It is a fantastic transition, and it really helps you. I mean, as I'm not an engineer, I can't talk about what an engineering degree would look like, but I can say that, the analytical skills, the structure, the build, all of that, the conversation, understanding the way things are designed and built. Imagine that, the power of that if you are a controller. So my advice to anybody who's new to this profession, who's come from an engineering background, find somebody else who's been very successful, who has got an engineering background. Reach out to any of us on this call. We'll all know somebody, and talk to them about how they've converted, how did they do it, what challenges did they have. It's a really great transition. That would be my guidance. And lots of other people have got their hands up, so I'll be quiet. Who's next?
I'll take the next one. So Georgia has asked, what key skills do I need to grow from project controls analyst to PCM? Obviously, the technical people in the room can answer that as well, but from a recruitment mindset and having seen many people progress from a project controls engineer to a manager, and my key tips are, you got to act like you're one. Whilst you've got to be the doer and carrying on what you're doing, you've got to act the skills of a PCM. So what are the skills of a PCM? Shadow your line manager, shadow others at that same level, ask questions. So the power of mentoring. If you take them for a coffee, that's the cheapest coffee you'll ever buy them, because with a PCM comes the salary increases and the future career aspirations. Key thing for the change from project controls analyst to PCM is going to not just less the technical skills, it's the personal skills. How do you go to improving your stakeholder management skills, dealing with people at more senior level, managing small teams, growing, being very present more than anything else. We're obviously in a massive struggle at the moment where it's great having a hybrid world, and a lot of PCMs are at that level in their personal life where they've got to be around for their kids and things like that. But how do you manage to create that relationship where you are learning and you can absorb day to day, those lessons? So yeah, that's my key tips.
I'm just going to add to that, sorry, just very quickly. I think the term PCM can be very different for different organisations and different sectors. So something to be mindful of. And I would say the first thing to do is understand the current role of a PCM where you are. So get the job spec if you can, understand it, see where your gaps are. And then, as Jared said, find someone who's already doing that role to see how you can build those capabilities and those skill set. But it is about moving away from just doing to bringing insight into the project manager, the program manager, and really looking forward and providing that leadership. So going to them with, solutions to issues they're about to become, rather than just sharing the information. It's those sort of step changes that they would be looking for. But I'd say the first thing to do is check your job spec if it's available to see where your gaps are and then work on those gaps.
And then to follow on from that, once you've understood what the role of PCM is in your organisation, I've just put into the chat what my answer would be, but I'll verbalise it now. We have, the authority has a competency framework, which now takes individuals from joining the career all the way through, until you are a seasoned expert, and gives you tools and advice and a competency framework where you can understand where your gaps are and then go and ask for that help, that training, that technical knowledge, to help you understand where your gaps are and train you.
That's great. Thank you, everyone, for that. I'm just conscious of time, so we are going to move on to the next slide. But anything that we haven't obviously addressed, we will collate those and come out with an email response for you all as well. So thank you very much for your inputs. I believe Steph is presenting this slide. I think Steph's having some difficulties. Leanne, are you able to go through this one?
Yeah, no problem. I think it was one of the questions in the chat as well. What can we expect to see from this community of practice? And there's some things here on screen as well that we can touch on, but themed sessions and guest speakers. And I'm sure, looking at some of the comments that were coming through earlier, there's a number of people on this call that were willing to share their experiences. That's exactly what we're looking for. And so that will definitely pull through. And then quarterly online meetups. So again, we talked about how often are the groups going to come together, and we said we'd issue some notifications to say when and how you join those sessions. Initially, we were thinking quarterly. I think it will depend as well when there's other large events on, such as the Primavera conference. We said that we're going to show up and we'll be there in person and have an in-person meetup, which plays nicely to the request for in-person networking opportunities. But yeah, so I think that's another thing that we've got coming up. And then also after this webinar, you'll receive a feedback survey. That's really critical to help us understand, to collate responses and basically make sure that this community of practice is fulfilling everything that you need. This isn't about us, this isn't about the steering committee, it's very much about what we give back and what we get from, and how we can move things forward as a group of people with a mission. Yeah, so they're the initial thinking. Obviously, as membership grows, and we get more established and we understand what the needs and wants are of the group, you will start to see more coming from us in line with your expectations. Steph is back. Sorry, Steph, I ad-libbed. I jumped on your slide. So I think the only thing left to say is, if you would like to become a member, we talked about this before, you can use the barcode here. I think Georgia put a note in the chat as well, so you can follow the link. I do encourage you to join and get involved with this community of practice, because I think we can do brilliant things together. Did I miss anything, Steph?
Cool.
There we go.
And then just the last bits. It's been a great session. We've had, the positive thing is everyone stayed online. I think at peak we had 98 people, and obviously many others have registered for the recordings. We've still got so many people online, so thanks. If you're not already connected, you can find us all on LinkedIn and connect, reach out if you want anything. From a Control Skills Authority perspective, you can contact Dawn, and she can advise you if you want to become a member, what level of accreditation, things like that. That's Dawn at controlsandskills.org. Again, if you're looking for mentoring or want to be a mentor, reach out to any of the group as well, and then we can connect you with the right people. There's so much happening. What we want, more than anything else, is ideas from you. It's a community. We're just the catalyst for this, but we need you to continue that momentum. So please stay involved, continue the conversation. Like we said, you can meet us in person on the 15th of October. And there's much more to go. This is just the starting blocks, and we want the rest of the year just to continue that momentum to really go out with continue with a bang into 2027. Thanks.
Can I just add before we go, there are actually 3 questions from 3 of the male allies that have been on the call in the Q&A. So I don't know if we've got a couple of moments to just try and answer them and look at these questions, or at least give comments against. So they're in no particular order. They just happen to be the top of my screen. I've got, as someone looking to be a better ally, I'm interested to understand whether the key challenges women face in project controls are distinct to this field or largely reflect the wider experience of women in STEM, and what should we be most aware of? I don't know who's happy to answer that before I launch in and answer it. If one of you wants to pick that up.
I can have a go.
Okay.
So I think I've understood the question, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think one of the things a male ally can absolutely do is encourage any female colleagues to speak up, have a voice when they're in meetings, build that confidence together. Sometimes, I mean, there are some people that I have actually mentored, whether actually both male and female, but mainly female women, who feel they don't feel technically up to the same level as some of the male colleagues in their profession, and therefore they feel quiet. But what I would say is encourage them to ask questions and feel that it's okay to not know everything and feel confident to gain that knowledge. And I think that is one of the things that will help to build trust and build, the ability for women to sort of step forward as a male ally. I'm hoping that's helped answer some of it. Did that come across as the question that was?
Yes, and I think the other bit of the question was, does it actually reflect the wider experience of women in STEM, which is the bit I can definitely answer, having come from the Engineering Construction Industry Training Board. The simple answer is yes. These thoughts, these comments, the discussion we're having is absolutely replicated, certainly in the engineering construction industry. And one of the things I would hope as an authority that we will continue to do is collaborate with other stakeholder groups that are also looking at this, and have these women groups and diversity groups as well, so that we can actually improve everybody's engagement in UK PLC. So another question or another statement, I tend to find that people's self-value of their skills and experience is far less than how it is valued within the industry. Will this group help to encourage and support women to promote themselves in the industry? We've answered that one. Sorry, now that I've read it, by entering the variety of industry awards available. We've discussed that. We've answered that one as we've gone through the session. And then I think So a similar question, well, a different question, but I think we may have answered it, but let me read it all out because I'm not sure we've answered it in total, but let me read it out anyway. Do we see anything hindering women being the best they can be in the workplace? And do they feel that CASA is helping to support women? So this was put in the question really early on. I think the second half of the question is yes, because that's what we're doing as a community of practice. But the first bit, do we see anything hindering women being the best they can be in the workplace? So I don't think we've necessarily said what is hindering us. We said what we can do to help. But does anybody want to pick that one up?
I'll have a go, and then I'm sure others can build on it. So, I mean, there's a whole range of barriers actually, and some of them this is gonna sound bananas, but I'm gonna go for it. Some of them are self-imposed, and I think that's what we need to try and help unlock. So from my perspective, and what I'll add here is, as a group, where we can support each other. This is with some of those self-imposed barriers, whether it's confidence or whatever. That's definitely something that we can build on and help with here, I would say. There's a whole host of others, though. I'm sure the others will build on that.
I was going to add, if we could get greater representation and percentage of women, then you sort of remove what could potentially, I'm not saying it is, but could potentially be unconscious bias from male colleagues as well. So the more you get a balanced view, the more we move away from that, unconscious bias that may happen, I think.
Yeah, and I think that's all we have in the chat and the Q&A. So yeah, thank you for joining us, as everyone is now disappearing for their 1 o'clocks. Thanks, Breda.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Great to see everyone.
Thanks, everybody.